it could potentially overburn because it's a delicate thing. With cream, if you overcook it or if you heat it up too much, it will start to curdle. Now you see a slight little color change there. That's probably from the onions and the garlic kind of leaching into the milk. Or it could just be my lighting on my camera, just switch it. Now here I added some salt to it, just for a little bit of flavor, because you always want salt. Salt is your friend, because it just gives it this, it heightens all the flavors. That said though, you gotta be careful, because too much salt is not great for the body. You can also add some pepper to this here. I did not add pepper because I am planning to add a spice to it with the chili paste. And again, keep an eye on your pasta. Like, oh, you see here it's starting to boil a little bit. I probably should have reduced the heat a bit more here because I think it was getting a little too hot. And that's on me. It still came out great, but as you can see, it's starting to foam, which isn't good. So here is where I'm adding gochujang. Now, gochujang is a Korean spicy chili paste. Or it's a red chili pepper paste. It's really good, but it can be very, very spicy if you don't know what you're doing with it. So that's why I added roughly a tablespoon worth here. Now you saw that it is a thick paste, so when I was putting it on the spoon, it was kind of sticking to it after I got most of it off. So that's why you saw me, let me just go back here and show you. I'm taking the chopsticks, my cooking chopsticks, and I'm rubbing it against the spoon with a little, to try and get a lot of the mixture off of it. So I'm using the cream base to kind of wash it off. That was something I saw in a video. I thought that was actually kind of cool, kind of interesting. It actually makes a lot of sense. I never thought of that before, and I'm probably going to do that a lot more in the future. Now, as you can see, that red color of the chili paste is mixing with the cream. You want to mix that in so it adds that hint of spice, that little hint of kick. That is why I did not add pepper earlier, just because I knew this pepper paste does have a lot of flavor to it. So I didn't want to overpower things with too much spices, too much pepper. Now, again, the color obviously is going to soak into the cream base. I thought because of how much I added, I thought I could add a little bit more. Because personally, me, I don't mind a bit of spice. So again, I added some more pepper paste to that, clean off the spoon as much as I can, and just keep stirring things. Now again, here I made the mistake of not turning down the heat. Should have been maybe more towards medium than medium high, but it worked fine. Just keep everything moving so it doesn't boil and everything just kind of keeps going. Now, once you get your sauce cooked to the consistency that you like and reduced down a little bit, you want to add the noodles to it. Now, this is where I mentioned before how I made the mistake of doing too much pasta. As you can see in that bowl, that's quite a bit of pasta compared to how much sauce I had. So I had decided to just use a little bit just to get everything going. You don't want to have too much noodles and not enough sauce. That kind of kills the dish. So now after this point, you just kind of stir it all in. You just mix it in. And you also want to reduce your sauce down too. So you can see that it's still a little bit liquidy. Let me go back here for a sec. So you can see how liquidy it is still right here. I decided to just change that around and just reduce more and more. So it's a thicker, almost like a paste, not a paste, but you want a thicker sauce that you want. So then it coats everything nicely. And you just keep mixing it around. So at the end of the day, trying to get the noodles on the plate, just trying to plate all this around here. So presentation wise, I was thinking what looks nice. Put a nice bunch of noodles in the middle, add a couple of shrimp, just for visual appeal. Now this is a dish that is actually pretty easy and pretty quick to do. All in all, the biggest issues is the wait time, waiting for the onions to cook down, waiting for the hot water to boil so you can cook the noodles. I would say if I wasn't filming this, it would have taken me maybe 45 minutes max to do all this. But obviously with filming this, it ended up being an hour and a half because I had to wait for everything. I had to adjust camera angles. But you know what? It came out pretty nice, I thought, in the end. Like, this is the final look. You can top it with whatever you want as well. I ended up topping this with a little bit of basil. You can use parsley, just something to give it that nice color differential. And this is where I saw in some other recipes, people decided to do broccoli, like I mentioned. So that has that green color that comes through the noodles with whatever protein you add. Now, I know in this one, I used shrimp. You can actually use any type of protein that you want. You don't even have to add a protein. If you just want straight rose pasta noodles, same thing. You just do everything that I did before. The onions, the garlic, the heavy cream, cook the noodles, everything that I did before, except you remove the shrimp element. Now, if you are doing other proteins like say ground beef, for instance, and you want to do like a meat sauce rose pasta dish, it should work. The only thing I would caution is that with ground beef, it does give off its own oils.